Hello, Wasatch fifth graders. Today, I'm going to introduce you to this new focus artist. Okay. His name is Norman Rockwell. Okay. Maybe you have heard of him before. He's very famous. This is how you spell his name. Norman Rockwell, born in 1894, died in 1978. Okay. He's an American from New York. Okay. And today I have a lot of illustrations behind me. They're all Norman Rockwell pieces. Okay. Now let me tell you about his life. Today, Norman Rockwell lessons is starting today, and I will do the art history part, biography part today, and then next week I will teach you how to do the project in the style of Norman Rockwell. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about him. Okay. So Norman Rockwell, born in 1894 in New York City. Okay. Ever since he was a little boy, he loved to draw. He was really good at art. Okay. And his favorite things to do as a young child was, of course, drawing. Okay. And he drew many characters in the Charles Dickens stories. And have you heard of the adventure story um, like Oliver Twist, okay, or David Copperfield? Have you heard of those stories? Those were his favorite stories to make illustration out of. Okay. And when he was little, in your age, in elementary age, art was pretty much the only thing he was good at. But he was really good at it though. Okay, let me show you the picture of him when he was about your age. Okay, this is Norman and his older brother Jarvis. Which do you think is Norman Rockwell? Okay. The tall one or the shorter one? Hey, this one right here is Norman Rockwell. He was younger, but he was very skinny and very tall. And he was terrible at sports. But his older brother Jarvis was the best sports player in the neighborhood. They were completely different from each other, but they were best friends. Okay, maybe you and your sister or you and your brother are like that. Okay, very different, but very good friends. Okay. All right. So when he was 16 years old, he left the regular high school and he started attending the art-only high school. The name of the school is called Art Students League. And that was the best art school in the United States because the teachers who taught there were very famous established artists, such as Frederick Remington, which, you know, you're going to learn about Frederick Remington a little bit later this year. He was one of the teachers, and other names are Howard Ryle and Charles Gibson's. They were the very famous illustrators back in those days. Okay? And he graduated from the good school. And when he was 18, he had his first job. Okay? Now, when you hear the first job at age 18, you probably think maybe working at the fast food restaurants or, delivering paper or stuff like that. But his first job was art-related job. He was asked to make illustrations for the children's book that it's titled, Tell Me Why. And Norman Rockwell did such a great job. And got a lot of money from doing that. And what do you do if you're 18 years old and you just got a chunk of money came in? Hey, how would you spend it? Maybe buy video game console or buy lots of junk food. Hey, but what Norman did was he rented his own art studio. Isn't that amazing? Hey, now next year he got another job offer, and that was from the magazine company called Boys Life. It's associated with Boy Scout of America, and the Boys Life company published the handbook called Camping Handbook, and Norman Rockwell was asked to make illustrations for that handbook. So you're talking about like the picture of how to tie knots, how to pitch tents, or how to prepare for hiking and stuff like that. Okay. And again, he did such a great job. And that company gave Norman another job, not just as an illustrator, but as a director of Boys Life. Now that is amazing. If I think of somebody who is a director, I would probably think of somebody at least on their 30s or 40s, but Norman was only 19 years old. He was really an exceptionally talented young man. Okay. The young Norman Rockwell, now in his 20s, had a dream. Okay? And his dream was to become America's best illustrator. Okay? Back in those days, if you want to be considered to be the very best in America, and you wanted to be chosen to be the illustrator for this magazine called Saturday Evening Post. Now that is an old magazine. It started in 1728 by Benjamin Franklin. Do you know who Benjamin Franklin is? Okay, he was not a president, but he was one of the greatest America's inventor and a politician. Okay, so that's the magazine. You can actually still subscribe that magazine today. Okay, here's my copy that I picked up from my house. Here's one, and then this is another one. Okay, if you want to get these magazines, you still can. Okay. So Norman Rockwell was waiting for the opening of that very job. And then one day he was reading the newspaper, and then he noticed the exact job that he wanted to get was open. So he got really excited. And he started collecting his artworks to show to the people of Saturday Evening Post. But then he had a change of his mind. He thought, wait a minute, I'm still really young, and there are a lot of better and older artists out there. There's just no way that I get that job. I should just give up. Okay. And he almost gave up, but his friends didn't let him do so. They pushed him, saying, Norman, what are you talking about? You're the best. And just go out there and then get an interview. So Norman was absolutely no confidence, walked out the door with his portfolio and went to have an interview. Do you know what happened? Can you guess what happened after that interview? You're right. He's got a job. And that was the beginning of the history. Okay. Since then, he illustrated more than 300 front cover of the Saturday Evening Post. Let me show you one example. This one is made in June of 1919. Okay. And I'm not sure if you can see that well, but can you see it says 5 cents? It only costed 5 cents right here. 5 cents to buy that magazine back in those days. Isn't that amazing? And then let me show you his signature right there. Let me get a closer view. Can you see where it says Norman Rockwell? Hey, so this is just one example of the front cover. Okay. And behind me, there's a lot, but let me just show you a few while I'm still sitting. Okay, this is a famous Norman Rockwell Santa Claus. He did a lot of Santa Claus pictures. He loved Christmas and other holidays. Okay, this one is interesting. This beautiful lady's face is becoming the front cover of the same magazine, but she's holding it. Isn't that clever? Okay. And he painted all different kinds of seasons, different people, but all realistically and straight out of real life. Here's a couple of old men fishing. Okay. And so they're not cartoons. They are painted super real. Okay. And oftentimes, it shows funny scenes. Let me show you this one. Okay, this is called No Swimming. Okay, the sign says, can you see the sign says no swimming? Okay, and what do you think these boys were doing? They were swimming. Okay, big trouble. Okay, now I have a webcam today hooked with my laptop, so I can actually get closer to each of these to show you a little bit better view. So here's a Santa Claus that I showed you. Same picture, but it's on the page of Saturday Evening Post. And here is another one. This is a crowded, is that better? Crowded mall scene, shopping scene. Okay. And here is the window with family peeking out. Okay. And here's another version of Santa Claus. Oops, too close, right here. Okay. And this is a scene of family getting a Christmas tree. Isn't that fun? Okay. And here's an interesting one. This is not Christmas anymore, but this is a baseball team. Okay. Red Sox, can you read on the uniform? And here is here is the very famous one. You might have seen this picture. I'm not getting a real good view right here. Okay. This one is called New Glasses. Okay. And this one shows the scene from the old school days with a wood stove in the middle. Okay. Oh, and then this is another very famous one. We just had this holiday, huh? This is a Thanksgiving illustration. It's called Saying Grace. Okay. And here is Election Day picture. This person right here is John F. Kennedy, the president. It looks just like him. Okay, so that was Norman Rockwell. We get back to my view here. And he lived a long life, good life. He died at the age of 83 or 84. I'm not sure if it was before or after his birthday. And Norman Rockwell is considered America's all-time favorite artist. So memorize the name, Norman Rockwell. And I will see you next week with the project in his style. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.